Hey guys, what's going on? It's Billy here from the best place to buy gold online. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So in today's video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Tulip Mania, and if you've not heard about Tulip Mania, I'm going to get into that in a second, but it's a crazy bubble that happened in 1636 in Holland. But before I start, I just want to ask you this quick question. Would you pay £1.8 million for a tulip bulb? And if your answer is yes, then turn off this video because you're just as crazy as this lot that I'm about to share with you. So obviously it's important when studying monetary history to identify cycles, but it's also necessary to examine both sides of the coin, if you will. And a lot of time people blame all their woes on the government, and certainly they are to blame for a lot of the inflation and economic issues we have through their bad monetary practices. But never forget that in the end we ultimately are the ones who consent, and I've put that in capital letters there, to our government's rule. Now you may not consent to the ruling as an individual, or maybe a few of you in a group, but as an entire society, an entire nation or country, whatever, you do consent to the government's rule. Otherwise, for us, for instance, in Britain, we've been marching on 10 Downing Street, and we've been removing David Cameron from power tomorrow. So we do consent to it. So we are the ones to blame. We are the ones that are in charge of our own life. Never ever forget that. That's one of my pet hates, blaming other people. So just remember that. A tulip is still a tulip. Tulip bulbs were not indigenous to Holland, despite everyone thinking that they were. And most people, think of tulip bulbs when they think of Holland, or they'll think beer, or most recently they'll think of going to Amsterdam, having a smoke, and having a whale of a time. In fact, they were actually imported from Turkey, and in 1593 the first tulip bulbs arrived in Holland then, and they quickly became a symbol status for royalty and the wealthy. This quickly developed into a bit of a mania, and it eventually became an economic bubble. In 1936, a tulip bulb was traded for the following: £8,000 of wheat, £16,000 of rye, 4 fat oxen, 8 fat swine, 12 fat sheep, 2 hogshead, 140-gallon barrel of wine, 4 tons of beer, 2 tons of butter, 1,000 pounds of cheese, 1 bed, 1 suit of clothes, and 1 silver goblet. That person must have had a whale of a time trading one bulb, a flower bulb. That's all it is. And at its very peak, in 1937, a single bulb sold for 6,000 florins, and to put that in perspective, the average yearly wage at the time was only 150 florins. That's 40 times the average income. And to put that in perspective, let's assume the average yearly income for someone in Britain today is £45,000. I know it's a lot lower. That means that a single tulip bulb today would have cost £1.8 million in today's money. Absolutely insane. So there you have it, guys. Just a quick example of how crazy economic bubbles and manias can go. And once people obviously woke up from this craziness situation, and the smart money, so to speak, just started moving out, everyone just began to sell. And within a few weeks, the tulip bulbs prices fell to their real value, which was several tulip bulbs for just 1 florin. And it's just crazy that this the devastation that this had on Europe plunged them into deep depression lasting for decades. So it just goes to show how crazy economic bubbles and manias can spiral out of control. And this could very, very easily happen today with current monetary policies that are happening, how sensitive the current economic climate is. But always remember that everything goes in cycles. So what must go up must come down. So yes, gold and silver will play a very, very big part, but at the end of the day, they are just lumps of metal, Now is their time, and it's very hard to actually judge the peak of any sort of economic bubble. But if you can get out, 8% towards the top, and trade that in for stuff that at the time everyone will be selling off. So, for instance, everyone will be selling real estate and stocks. You can buy a hell of a lot more stock and a hell of a lot more real estate. Because at the end of the day, the real value in the economy are people, businesses, and I suppose you could argue that those two are more or less the same, that people obviously make up businesses. Property, food, water, fuel. Obviously technology is starting to take over now, and we're starting to look into renewable energy. So maybe fossil fuels and oil and gas and all that sort of stuff will sort of wear its way out. But those are the things that are real value. People need that. They don't necessarily need gold and silver, although that will play as a money part to trade for the things that they really need. So I wanted to use that as an example, and just got to really make you aware that how crazy bubbles could get. And if we do see a hyperinflation or really high inflation, I just want to make that you aware that that could all come crumbling down within a short space of time. So there you have it, guys. I hope you got value. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and share. And if you haven't done so already, go and check out my website, which is goldfinancial.de. Go ahead and register yourself for a free account. And if you haven't done so already, come and follow me on Facebook. Just look for the best place to buy gold online. I'll put a link in the description below. It'll be easier for you. I do a lot of live sessions over there, question and answers, and I just really try to provide a lot of value for you guys that are watching these videos. So there you have it. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.